Hello, welcome back. We have another installment of Agatha Christie's The Hollow.
A lot more has happened, so
A lot more.
there's
Yep.
a lot to discuss.
Yep. And I think we have another suspect. The butler.
Oh, yeah. And how do you say his name?
I say Gudgeon,
Gudgeon?
like
That-
bludgeon. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's add him to the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a suspect now.
He was, he carried, the whole thing is weird. First of all, the gun that Gerda was holding when she was standing over John's dying body, they did forensics on it, whatever, and realized that it's not the gun that was used to shoot him.
How big is that? Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense.
No, so that threw me for a loop because I'm like, how do you work that into this?
Yeah.
And now there's this other gun that Lucy had in her like little gardening basket.
Mm-hmm.
She decided to take with her in case she wanted to pretend to accidentally shoot John because she wants him dead, but didn't kill him. But she did say she wants him dead.
I was so upset because Lucy was my number one suspect.
Yeah, so now it's like, okay, it can't be her because she's literally just going around telling people, oh yeah, like I wanted to kill him, that's why I was carrying this gun around.
Because maybe I'll trip on a root. And maybe there's a bullet lodged in the chamber. Yeah.
But then Gudgeon, when he took the basket from her, he saw the gun, took it out, and put it back wherever it goes. And like somebody saw that he was doing that and told the police. So
Then there was a whole big thing like, oh, but the girl that saw him said he had a revolver, but then he said I had a pistol. And Lucy's like, yep, it was a pistol. So what was that about? And he was killed with a revolver, so...
Right. So, like, that gun also is not the one that killed him, right?
I don't know, because it was a pistol. So the gun
So,
they're
like-
talking about is a pistol, but there's a little bit of, like... Because the kitchen maid is still like, no, I saw a revolver. So there's all this whole thing, like, are Gudgeon and Lucy, like, in cahoots?
Yeah.
Another Agatha Christie word. Or is the kitchen maid wrong? I don't know, like the whole thing. But then how about the end of the chapter? All of the servants are closing ranks. Like they're all like basically yelling at the kitchen maid and being like, look, don't talk to police. So
Yeah, so I wonder if it's like all the servants together maybe
staged it. What do you think of that? Oh, I like
What's
that
the
line
motive?
of thought. Ainswick to get the estate back.
and the servants want the estate back.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically, right now, Edward has Ainswick. It's this estate where they used to like spend their time out when they were younger. And Edward, it was passed to him. He wants to marry Henrietta. Henrietta is in love with John. If he doesn't marry, then the estate will pass to David, this gloomy...
Left wing that wants to give everything away to the workers. So I'm sure Lucy's thinking, if this estate falls to David, he's just going to turn into a commune or some hippie resort or give it away.
Right.
So Lucy's got this whole reasoning behind it, like why she doesn't want it to fall to David.
So that's why she has to get John out of the way, which is why she wanted to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think the servants might also want Ainswick?
Yeah, maybe. Because remember, and there's that part where Henrietta says she's looking down, when Henrietta's sitting up there with Poirot on the bench, and they're looking down the curve towards the hollow, which is Lucy and Henry's house, and she says everything is an echo of Ainswick. So it's almost like they're all trying to create this feeling or this stage or whatever of Ainswick. So maybe that's where maybe the servants are trying to get back to it.
Right.
Or Gudgeon. I mean, maybe... Wait, what's his name?
Gudgeon.
Maybe that's where it's all kind of going around.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it has to play some sort of part, because Ainswick is just constantly coming up in their conversations.
Yeah. It might... Yeah, so I feel like we have to add Gudgeon as a suspect, because there just seems too much about that whole keeping up appearances. Don't talk to police. The appearance that it's like Ainswick, it just seems to. So that's why I'm adding him, and I was really sad to not have Lucy as a suspect anymore.
Yeah.
So who are you leaning towards right now?
I'm leaning toward two different things right now. One thing, I'm kind of leaning towards Midge for the sole reason that, like, she seems like the least suspicious to me right now, so that makes her suspicious.
She does.
I wouldn't know what her motive is.
Yeah.
She's in love with Edward, so maybe somehow that would play into it, but it kind of seems counterintuitive for her to get John out of the way with Edward and Henrietta.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's just...
Yeah, that's
true. She seems kind of, like, in the background at the moment, so that's why I was just, like, thinking of there's something with this woman.
Yes.
Also, another thing I'm thinking is very out there, and I can't get it to work necessarily. Like, I was going back, rereading some things, trying to make it make sense with this theory, and I'm struggling. But I got it in my head. I was showering last night, and I was thinking about this, and I got this in my head, and I can't stop thinking about it. What if John staged his death, and he's not actually dead, and that's why it seems staged?
Oh my gosh.
Because he actually wants to be with Veronica now that she's back in the picture, but didn't want to, like, divorce Gerda and go through all that. He wanted to stage his death. But then, like, I'm struggling to make it
that actually, because
work, though.
Poirot keeps saying he was the most alive in that scene.
Yes, that's why, like, they keep talking about how he just seems so alive. I'm like, what if because he actually was alive?
Oh my gosh.
And he's a doctor, because Poirot, like, took his pulse, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I just read Romeo and Juliet. And, you know, she took that drug.
Oh my gosh.
That made her seem dead. And he's a doctor, so he would have access to things
I think
like
you just solved it. And plus, he's doing all that toxicity stuff with that Mrs. Crabtree.
Right.
I think
it's
you
just
just solved
hard
it.
to understand how...
I'm not going to read the rest. I think that's it. I think you just solved it. I think we're done. It's a wrap. John stages their death. I absolutely 100% agree.
There are some things that I feel like just don't necessarily make sense with that. Like, because Veronica is, like, a prime suspect in this whole staging. But if he's trying to run away with her, why would she be? Why would they not make sure that she, like, has an alibi or something?
True. Unless he's running away with Henrietta, right?
Oh, yeah, true. Like, maybe just seeing Veronica made him realize what he wanted and that he wanted Henrietta.
I think it's John. So I'm going to put John as the suspect. Yep. That is brilliant. And you know what? That's the kind of thing that Agatha Christie would pull.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I don't have like, all of the details of it, but that is the one thing that I just can't get off my mind at the moment.
Oh my gosh. So we have, I guess, well, do you want to keep reading or should we just wrap it at that? John did it.
We should just, like, write the ending.
Yeah. I think that's brilliant. So we're going to read the next little section, the next chapters, like what, 22 to 30, something like that?
Yeah.
And we're going to stop before the big reveal when Hercule Poirot probably pulls them all into a knot and says, I've figured it out.
He's pieced it all together.
And then he, like, throws barbs out and everybody's like, no, I didn't do it. So I think we're going to stop right before we can suspect that that's about to happen. And then we're going to give our guesses. And then
we'll see if we're right. We'll see if we solve the mystery.
I think you already did.
It'll be sad if it's not.
Well, that's a better ending.
That would be so exciting.
Yeah, I feel like any other ending than that's like, she could have done better. Sorry, Agatha. All right, we will see you next time.
See ya.